Hi Aries, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is December 27th, 2019. This is a general love reading for the first half of January 2020 for the sign of Aries. Because it's a general love reading, it can pertain to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance that you're dealing with. So take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns that I'm using to describe them. You can interchange the roles within the reading. You might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. Also, you might feel like I'm reading for you, but you could also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. Okay, Aries, so my intention is to reach as many people as I can who need the message the most and who will benefit from the message. I'm going to give this deck one more shuffle and a cut, and we'll get started and see what's going on for Aries in 2020. January, here we go. So in your underlying energy, we're going to start with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, paired with the Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, Justice in reverse, with the Four of Cups, the Chariot, and the Five of Swords. So it feels like, Aries, you might be letting go of a group dynamic, a work situation amongst a group of people, a friendship situation. Might be letting go of something that isn't serving you, something that isn't working out very well. You might be walking away from a situation where you aren't getting along with somebody or a group of people. After having found out maybe some truth, or after having possibly uncovered some information. I do feel like there was something possibly not going very well, or things weren't moving in the right direction for quite some time, and maybe it's something that you got used to, or something that you just decided that's just the way things are. Things aren't going my way, but that's just the way things are in this situation or with this group of people. And I feel like you might be moving away from a situation where there may have been a lot of conflict, maybe a lot of fighting. I think that you are the King of Pentacles energy. Sylvester just came out of the bedroom and he's doing his meowing right now. Sylvester? Okay. I'm going to talk about the King of Pentacles real quick. So the King of Pentacles, I feel, might be your energy here, Aries. The King of Pentacles is someone who is a hardworking individual, very loyal, very compassionate, somebody who puts others first. This can be a family man, somebody who is very responsible. This person, if this is you, you've realized something, or you've come into some information, or you've uncovered some kind of truth or some kind of information in regards to a situation I feel that wasn't going your way, or that you felt was possibly unjust within a group dynamic, maybe a group of co-workers, friends. And I feel like you're letting this go. You're releasing this. You're walking away from it, moving away from it. It might be causing some conflict, your actions or your decision. This is the right thing to do. It's the responsible thing to do, whatever it is that you are doing. Let's get some more cards on the table, Aries, and see what else we can come up with for you. So clarifying the Four of Pentacles, we have the Tower in reverse. And Temperance is clarifying the Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the Ace of Swords. King of Pentacles is clarified by the Hanging Man. Justice is clarified by the Ace of Wands. Four of Cups is clarified by the Five of Cups. Chariot is clarified by the World. And the Five of Swords is clarified by the Devil energy. Okay, so this is something, this release of this situation or this group dynamic, I feel like this is it's pertaining to possibly family, possibly a group dynamic pertaining to work. Something was found out, and I feel like you have put a lot of thought into this. That you're leaving the situation because it's the right thing to do and setting off on possibly a new start or a new beginning for yourself. But I feel you releasing yourself from the situation is causing some conflict amongst the people that you're dealing with. But you have to let this go. You have no choice. Or you feel like you need to move on or move away from the situation. It's the responsible thing to do. You may have been the one who has disclosed some information or some truths surrounding this family or group dynamic. I feel like it could pertain to a family, especially with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Excuse me. There's people surrounding you that need to do some healing. That they may not be acting very well in response to your decisions that you've made, but you put a lot of thought into this. There's a lot of grief surrounding whatever situation you're in right now. Some heartache, some sorrow, some pain. But I feel like it's something you've gotten used to. Maybe it's something that has gone on for a period of time. Something that you've been dealing with for a long time. So although there's a lot of heartache and pain and sorrow, it's not something new to you. It's not something unusual. And you might feel like you just need to get out because whoever you're dealing with, these are the people that actually need to look at themselves and their behavior and what's going on with them to fix the problem. It doesn't have anything to do with you, Aries. And you're coming off again as the King of Pentacles, maybe being the only one who is the voice of reason. Maybe being the only one who has looked inward or seen the situation for what it is, seen the truth surrounding this group dynamic, family situation, work situation. It feels like it's it doesn't feel like a work situation necessarily. I feel like you know it's time to move on. It's time to close this chapter because this is what you're leaving behind. Conflict, fighting, constant competition, maybe arguing, maybe feeling they constantly have to defend yourself. And this is something that needs to happen. You could be moving towards a new beginning in a relationship, or just a new start in life. Let's get some more cards out here, Aries, and see what else we get. So we have the Tower again, this time in the upright position, clarifying the Four of Pentacles. We have that twice, clarifying the Four of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse. Ace of Wands again on the same set of cards, clarifying the Four of Cups. Hierophant in reverse. And the Seven of Wands in reverse. So this is something that needed to happen. This was inevitable. You needed to walk away or release yourself from this situation. If you didn't do it for yourself, it was going to happen in some way, shape, or form anyway. That's what the Tower indicates, that it was something that you couldn't prevent, something that you couldn't undo. And I feel like you've been battling the situation for quite a while. Maybe you've been trying to work with, it feels like it's a group dynamic, could be a family situation. It feels like you could have been working with the people that surround you, trying to make things better, trying to help the situation get better. But it wasn't getting better. And I think that the people involved may have been resistant to seeing the truth or admitting the truth. And I feel like you were probably, again, the only person who was responsible enough to see what was going on, maybe see what needed to happen, or clear on the imbalance in the situation, or how to fix things. And I feel like you were not necessarily being heard or being given enough credit. So you're taken off. You're leaving the situation behind. You're leaving people behind who are not moving in the right direction, who are not doing the right thing, who are not acting in your best interest, because you're just ready to give this up. You're tired of the fighting, tired of the conflict, tired of the maybe the aggressive behavior. There possibly could be toxic relationships, or some situations where people are out of control, or just not trying to put themselves in a better place so that they can participate in making things better. I feel like you had no choice in the matter. Like you felt like you needed to get out of the situation to start fresh so that you could have a new beginning. I think that the people you're dealing with, the people that you're surrounded by, maybe are feeling like this is an unjust situation, that it's unfair for you to walk away from this. to walk towards something new for yourself. But you've made this decision that you need to get out. This isn't right for you. Nobody else seems to be participating in trying to make this things better, is what I'm getting more than anything else. Maybe people have been relying on you to be the voice of reason, to fix everything. But I feel like there's been toxic behavior, harsh fights, things you just don't want to participate in anymore. This definitely feels like a family dynamic. Dare I say it's, you know, here we are coming to an end of a holiday season, and a lot of times families get together and, you know, there's alcohol and other substances being passed around and this and that, and people aren't in their right state of mind. This card just flipped over, the Ten of Pentacles again. Causing unrest within a family situation. Maybe things being said they shouldn't have been said. I feel like you're just at your wit's end, wanting to walk away from this and have a new start on your own or somewhere else, not necessarily by yourself, but away from this situation, because hanging around is not going to result in anything positive for you. So again, if this is, for example, if this is a family situation or family dynamic, it could be, you know, a situation where a couple times a year you get together with close family and friends, and, you know, so-and-so always starts something, or someone brings up something from the past that has been unresolved, and fighting ensues and conflict and harsh words and this and that, and you're just done with it. You're like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I'm out of here. Okay, let's see what else we get. So we have Page of Swords, King of Wands in reverse, Eight of Cups in reverse, Four of Pentacles, this time in the upright position, Three of Cups, this time in the upright position, King of Cups. I think this is you too. King of Wands is somebody else. I'll talk about the King of Wands here in a minute. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and Knight of Cups. I'm going to get this last round out and we'll talk about these. So we have a King of Wands in your underlying energy, clarifying Temperance. This is somebody I feel in particular who might have been kind of the center of a conflict, or definitely somebody who you were at odds with or feel like you want to walk away from. The King of Wands is somebody who can be an angry individual, maybe has temper issues. This could be somebody who misuses their power, or potentially could be somebody who's abusive in nature, or just somebody who doesn't have a lot of control over their behavior. And I feel like this is somebody who may need the most healing in this group dynamic. This person needs to maybe seek some counseling, or get some help in some way, shape, or form, because I feel like this could be the person within this group dynamic that is most combative, at least when it comes to you. And this is at least the person that you might be walking away from. And maybe, again, you could be leaving behind a bad group dynamic because of this individual, but I feel like this individual is kind of like the catalyst, the person who gets things going or keeps things going, or is one of the main reasons behind the unrest within this family dynamic. Again, I feel like there's a lot of a willful ignorance, or people turning their heads, not wanting to see the truth. And you've maybe felt stuck in this family dynamic for quite some time. But again, I don't think that there's a lot of people seeing the truth surrounding the situation or willing to admit what's going on. And I feel like you think, Aries, you know what? I've been hanging on to this way too long. Do I continue to hang on to this situation? Do I continue to return to the situation because it's very imbalanced? It's not how I operate, says Aries. This is not something that I'm willing to put up with anymore. And I think that you've delivered this message, and it brought down the Tower because people are unhappy, or this person is at least. So the King of Cups is your energy as well. I do feel like this is something that brings you a lot of grief, because I feel like you have a lot of compassion and love for this person or this group of people. But this is something that you've gotten used to. This is not a new situation. This is something that you've become accustomed to. Again, it could be one of those family situations where, you know, you're prepared for this because it happens every year or every time you get together. And, you know, time's up on this situation. It's time to close the chapter on this. It's time to walk away from the situation that is going nowhere for you. But I feel like this departure or this announcement of, you know what, I'm out of here, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore, has caused some more disruption within this group dynamic, family situation. But I think you're ready to find, you know, your peace, to find people that make you happy. You might even have, you know, another family, for example, maybe your spouse's family or a group of people that you feel really close to that you want to connect with more so than this current dynamic that you're dealing with. Let's get this last set of cards out here for you, Aries. We have Strength in reverse, Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Eight of Swords in reverse, Nine of Swords, Page of Pentacles again in reverse, Hangman again, this time in reverse, and the Emperor. So I think you might be on the receiving end of some reactions from the people that you're dealing with or the person that you're dealing with, seeing you as weak or unable to handle the situation or face it head on. You're not willing to participate in this situation anymore, and this King of Wands is pissed at you, thinks you're giving up, thinks that you're not facing the problem head on. But the truth of the matter is, I think you've been trying. I think that you have been trying to work this out. And again, I get the feeling that people just aren't willing to see the truth. They're turning their backs. They're not willing to admit maybe that they're playing a part in whatever is going on in this dynamic to cause the problems, to cause the conflict. And you've decided to release yourself from it. Eight of Swords in reverse. You've decided that hanging on to this is not something that you want to do anymore. You're releasing yourself from it. It's causing you imbalance, causing you to feel maybe like you have run out of energy to put into this situation. It does feel like you're moving towards something positive, like I said before, and you might be a little in your head about this because I think you're receiving some grief regarding your decision. You might be being told, like, this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing this, why are you abandoning us, or why are you making this decision? But there's something positive you're moving toward and leaving the crap behind, basically. Because the people that you're surrounded by just are unwilling to see the grief that they're causing and the heartache that they're causing. They're just unwilling to accept their part in it. Let's get a Dreams of Gaia card for you, Aries, and see what else we can come up with. I don't know why it feels like you're getting blamed for something, Aries, and maybe it's just because you're seen as a stronger individual, somebody who has a little more control, somebody who has their shit together, and so somehow you are being seen as somebody who should be taking on more responsibility, trying to fix things, trying to make things better, something like that. But you're not. You've said, again, this feeling of just wanting to walk away from this. You've put enough energy into this. You've put enough of your time into this situation, and it's time for you to take action and let others deal with their own problems, their own issues, their own conflicts. Is that the one? No, let's get some others. All right, Spirit, let's get one last card for Aries. Closing statement, summary, next steps, advice. Where should Aries go next? I feel like, Aries, you've been a bit of a victim in this situation. Like I said, I feel like you're a voice of reason in this dynamic, and you see things from a different perspective. You might be kind of removed from the situation, maybe most of the time. Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't deal with this group of family members or group of friends or whoever these people are to you on a regular basis, so that when you do come into contact with them, you have a little bit of a different perspective. You can see things differently. And I just feel like you're removing yourself from the toxic situation, and the people around you feel like you're abandoning them or leaving them, throwing them to the wolves or whatever. There's a sense that they feel like you're giving up on them, but in reality, you're just like, I've dealt with this long enough. Year after year after year, I go through this shit. I put up with this crap. I listen to your woes. I give you advice. I try to steer you in the right direction, try to give you some clear-headed words to help you, but you're just not listening, that type of thing. It just feels like whatever you're doing to try to help the situation is falling on deaf ears. I don't know if Spirit's going to give me a card. I just want one card. Oh, well, those two definitely want to come out. And there's three. Okay, so we have the Counselor, which is the Knight of Cups. We have the Six of Water. And we have the Nine of Air, which is the Nine of Swords. These are all very positive cards. And I'm familiar with some of them. I can't read them all, but well, let's see how long each one is, Aries, and see if I can read them all. I think the Nine of Air is super long, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about this one. There it is. I just opened the book and I came up to the Nine of Air. I kid you not. It is like a page and a half long. So this is all about being open to possibilities, knowing yourself, knowing that you create your own reality, that you can basically move in whatever direction you want, that you are the creator of your own reality, in a nutshell. This goes on and on about imagining the multiple universes that we live in, and everybody has the ability to create their own universe, their own existence, that kind of thing. The Six of Water, or Six of Cups, is a very positive card as well. And Six of Water, I might read this one, and then the Counselor, 12 of Water, I'll give you kind of some keywords and phrases so you can get an idea for that one. Let's go first to that one. So the Counselor of Water, I'm going to read both of these because they're both relatively short. Yeah. So let's read this one first. So the Counselor of Water represents one who stands high, an elder, advisor, or wise man or woman whom the king or queen calls upon to discuss their feelings regarding a situation or experience of concern. She or he is someone who is trusted. They are a caring, compassionate person who will listen attentively, only interrupting the flow to ask a question if there is need. Once the tale is told, the counselor offers her thoughts in an objective manner. Her role is not to give instruction, but to present alternatives and insight that will help the seeker understand the thoughts and feelings that may be clouding their judgment. She is an empathetic person, skilled at stepping outside of herself to look through the eyes of others. She never judges and offers only compassion and the opportunity to understand the emotions at play. By asking the right questions, she helps people to come to their own conclusions about what feels right for them and how to proceed from that point. When the counselor appears in a reading, she symbolizes a need to be empathetic and objective when dealing with emotionally complex situations. If you can, look beyond the words being spoken to see the emotions behind them. If you cannot, the counselor asks that you seek out the wisdom of someone who can. There may also be a time approaching that will require you to keep your emotions in check, especially if they are confused. If you are feeling reactive or challenged, talking it through might help you make sense of your feelings and provide you with answers. If you act without taking this step, your mixed or confused emotions may muddy the waters further. So this is perfectly reflective of where you stand in this situation, because you are the King of Pentacles, you are the counselor, you're the King of Cups, you're the voice of reason in this situation, just like I've been saying throughout this entire reading. And I do feel like you are at a point where you're like, you know what, my words are falling on deaf ears, I can't continue to do this anymore. But this card is indicating to continue to have compassion. And, you know, leave gracefully, I guess, if that's your choice. Right, Aries? Okay, so let's look at Six of Water. The Six of Water is the epitome of kindness and concern. She represents all that is good and pure within humanity and an ideal that many strive to meet. She is kind, but not to a fault. She displays concern and care, but does so with a level of emotional detachment. She is sympathetic, compassionate, and giving, but not to the extent that she leaves nothing for herself. She is understanding and aware that we all think, believe, and see life in a unique way, and that this determines how we behave and respond to others. She is forgiving, but forgives because she knows the act sets her free and enables her to move forward without being weighed down by past experiences. She is a gentle soul who overcomes all obstacles with a determination that is free of any aggression or intent to do harm. She is the peaceful warrior who wins all with a gentle touch or smile, a kind word, and a compassionate, generous nature. Does she represent an impossible ideal? Do you strive to be like her and find yourself incapable of behaving this way all the time? The Six of Water comes to tell you to just be you. Show compassion, be empathetic, understanding, and aware of all that makes us different. Be generous, but remember to keep healthy boundaries in place. Most importantly, be kind to yourself when you don't live up to your own, sometimes impossible ideals. To be the peaceful warrior, you have to be as kind and generous to yourself as you are to others. Another card that's very indicative of the situation and goes perfectly with these two. Again, I think it represents you, Aries, and the fact that you are no longer willing to participate in this mess. You're removing yourself from the situation, walking away from it gracefully, standing strong in who you are, and remaining compassionate and sensitive to the others that are around you, but you're walking away from a situation that you don't deserve to have to deal with. You should not have to put up with this shit. And people are seeing that as unfair for whatever reason, Aries. I'm going to let that go here. We've gone on for about 35 minutes. I hope this reading was helpful in some way, shape, or form for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all the best in the situation. I hope that you're enjoying your holiday season. And happy 2020. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me. I hope that I see you again soon. Bye, Aries.